So
It's about trust.
yes, it is about trust. Excellent. Hi, welcome to Utah Technology Magazine, folks. We are here at the Sundance Film Festival, and we are here with the director of The Green Prince, Nadav Schirman. Am I saying that right, Nadav?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Nadav, we're here at Sundance together, or you're here, and we're grateful that we get a chance to speak with you.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about your film.
Well, it's not only my film, it's the film of all the great amount of people who worked on it and, you know, put their heart and soul to make it happen. We actually finished it 2 weeks before the Sundance Film Festival.
Oh, really? You mean you wrapped up?
Well,
Or
no.
post-production?
Right,
Everything?
post-production ended 2 weeks before the festival, and
Oh,
this
wow.
is the first time we're showing it to the world, and we are extremely, you know, positively surprised and very grateful for the response we're getting. You know, the protagonists are getting standing ovations every time they come on stage, and there's a sense that people are really touched by the film and inspired. It's a film about, you know, two enemies that become best of friends. You know, they transcend all the barriers, and there's a sense that, you know, the film brings hope to people, especially in that region where, you know, hope is such a rare commodity, and you see the peace process, you know, being meddled with, and they, you know, the politicians don't really trust one another. And the two characters in the film, you know, their relationship is built on trust.
Right.
So the film is really inspiring for people, and we're very thankful for this.
Yeah. You know, Devad, I heard, Nadav, I'm sorry. I saw a quote where you, or I read a quote actually, that said, and I'm going to quote you, and I wanted to talk, because anybody can really look online and find out a little bit about The Green Prince. And so, but I wanted to ask you about something that you said that I thought was very intriguing to myself. You said, I am intrigued by what happens to relationships that are put under great pressure. Let's talk about that a little bit in relation to The Green Prince.
Right, it's actually in relation to my last three films, which form a sort of trilogy. The first film that I made was called The Champagne Spy, which is about a son who discovers that his dad is a Mossad agent. And his father tells him that when he's 13 and makes him swear never to speak about it again. And then the kid finds a photo of his father, first page of the Herald Tribune, about to hang in Cairo for being a spy, and he's not allowed to talk about it. So it's a story of a relationship between a father and a son, which is put under great pressure and takes the viewer into the world of espionage.
And that was your first or second?
That was my first film.
Okay, your first film. And
Yes.
what was the name of that one?
The Champagne Spy.
Champagne Spy. Okay.
Yeah, and then you discover the world of espionage and the personal price that is paid by spies.
And there is a personal price, isn't there?
Heavy.
Heavy.
Heavy to live
And
undercover.
sometimes no one even knows. No one will ever know.
Most of the time. That's what's intriguing about these stories. The Champagne Spy, The Green Prince, and also my last film, In the Darkroom, where these are very secret worlds.
Right.
And through the relationships, because at the end of the day we're interested in human relationships, that's how we, you know, respond to the characters, that's how we connect to them, we get to invest these secret worlds.
And that's kind of interesting about The Green Prince, because we get to peek in at this dynamic that's going on. Which
Absolutely.
is very, 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 very interesting. Another quote you said, and I wanted to ask you about, you said, it's how their humanity defies all the rules and breaks all the boundaries. I love that. What does that mean?
Well, you know, these two people come from opposite sides of the fence. You know, it's a Palestinian and an Israeli, and they were.
And this is as old as time can get.
Right, and they had to make very brave choices in order to trust one another. They had to follow their sort of moral compass to do what's right. And in doing so, they lost everything, but they found each other. Now, what's interesting is that the film sort of transcends this Middle East conflict, and we get people who respond and say, you know, I'm a banker, I work in a supermarket, for example, and we have these weekly meetings, staff meetings, and the boss says we should go this way. Now, I disagree. So I have two choices. Either I say nothing and go with the flow, which is what most people do. Either I speak up and I risk losing my job. And in The Green Prince, these two individuals, you know, they stood up and they took a stand for what they believed was right. They lost everything in the process. But they gained, you know.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
we lose and we gain.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you lose maybe being part of the system, but you gain moral integrity.
Right.
And this film is inspiring not only in relation to the Middle East conflict, I think it's inspiring everyday life, because we're all confronted with these situations where, you know, it's either we do what feels right, either we just, you know, lower our head and go with the flow. So hopefully, you know, it will inspire people to listen to their inner moral compass a bit more.
And I like that, because you're right. I mean, we're always in conflict within. There's always a struggle within. Do we go? Do we not? You know, do we do? I mean, the fact that you talk about the moral compass, these two gentlemen followed their moral compass despite all odds, and that's what brought them together. It's intriguing. And we talked a little bit about this before we went on back on, or when we went on the air, about technology. Technology has always been in intelligence gathering. How did it affect when you were actually filming, and what was, you know, because I was wondering about this as far as like security. You have two opposing sides and you're making this movie. Security. How was security kind of dealt with when making the movie, and what technology did you kind of use to protect yourselves while making the movie?
Well, no, I think what's interesting is technology in the realm of intelligence gathering, because most of the intelligence gathering today is done through technology. You have three categories. The first one is VISIN, which is visual intelligence. So it's everything that is done with drones, security cameras, surveillance cameras, and that's one way of getting information. The second way is SIGINT, signal intelligence, what the NSA does. So it's plugging into your emails, into your phone conversations. This is all technology based. So if there's a terrorist cell preparing an attack, you can observe them from the far, from the sky. You can listen to them. But you need the most important aspect of intelligence gathering, and the least used one, because it's the most complicated one, is human intelligence.
There we go. Yeah.
And you need the human inside the system to be able to interpret the information for you. And this is what the film is really about, and also in the way that we filmed it. You know, there's a lot of scenes which are shot from a drone perspective.
That's what I wonder about, because what did you use as far as like when you're shooting?
Oh, we used we used drones, and then we did a lot of post-production. And some of them are real. Some of them are real, like IDF drone shots, and some of them are enhanced shots that we did, you know, by shooting. And we actually, because we couldn't shoot everything in Ramallah, it was a bit dangerous for us. So
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's like, how dangerous was this when you were shooting? You know, what did you use for protection? I mean, did you have bodyguards? Did you guys have?
Well, no. I think the most important aspect of it was just to be very discreet.
Okay, now how do you do that when you're filming though?
Well, when we were in Ramallah, we were filming very discreetly with small cameras, you know.
Really, just small. What about lighting? And I mean, were you shooting?
Well, we had
dark?
amazing DPs who could just, you know, from the corner of their eyes see where the light is right and just do the shot really quickly, etc., etc.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And part of it we had to reenact, so we were shooting in an Arab village in Israel, actually, you know.
Right. How was that, shooting in Israel?
That was incredible, because first of all, the people in the Arab village in which we shot was so friendly and so welcoming. We went to block streets, you know, and then we had to shoot before kids come up, because we reenacted scenes, you know, where he gets arrested by the Israeli army and things like that, and we're shooting in an Arab village. So we had to make sure, you know, we're not shooting while the kids are coming back from schools, because they would be all over the thing. Yeah.
Right.
So there was a lot of things, but you know, the people you encounter along the way, both in Ramallah and in the Arab Israeli village, everybody was so welcoming and so friendly. They didn't know what the story was about, of course, but you know, it was a very good experience.
How many places did you shoot in? How many countries?
So we shot in Germany in the studio, we shot in Ramallah, we shot in Israeli prisons, we shot in Arab villages in Israel, we shot in Tel Aviv, we shot in Los Angeles, 6 or 7 places.
Wow. That's it. So you've had fun with this.
It was hard work, but part of it was fun.
I mean, but you discovered probably something about yourself, about people,
about people.
Okay.
Yes, about people. Especially through the story of Musab and Gonen. You know,
that's an incredible story.
It is because I think it resonates, because it's something which touches us, and it's ultimately about trust. You know, it's about you need to trust the other person in order to gain a friendship. You know, it's just about taking a risk, putting yourself out there. And we realized this during one of the interviews here, is when you meet a man that you're interested in, or a man meets a woman, the first thing that they will do to get closer is to start sharing secrets.
Sharing stories.
Stories, but secrets. You say things about your childhood, you say things about yourself. The closer you get, the more secrets you're going to share. Well, a man at least.
Okay.
And sharing these secrets sort of makes you vulnerable, but it also creates a proximity, and it's a risk you're taking.
And you just said that word, vulnerability. I think that's huge, because I think if you're not willing to explore, to open up and explore, allow someone to explore you, it's shut off. And
right.
You're never going to make the connection.
Right, and this happens in The Green Prince, where when Gonen sort of goes to meet him without bodyguards, he's exposing himself. He could be killed.
Right.
But in taking that risk, he gains the trust of Mossad. Now, when you look at the Middle East peace process today, you know, none of the politicians on both sides are taking any risks, you know, or making any concessions.
Everything is shut.
Yeah, so
everything is shut.
So it's going to be